The long wait is finally over, fight fans. Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin are all set to renew their battle for middleweight supremacy. Canelo and Triple G will have their much-anticipated rematch on Sunday, Philippine time in Las Vegas, Nevada. The fight was supposed to take place in May, but the Nevada State Athletic Commission suspended Alvarez for 6 months in May for failing a drug test. Their first fight ended in a controversial draw a year ago. Canelo currently has a record of 49 wins with 34 knockouts, 1 loss and 2 draws. Triple G, on the other hand, is undefeated with 38 wins, 34 knockouts and 1 draw. Now, who will finally earn the bragging rights in this clash of middleweight titans? Is it Canelo, the red-hot Mexican counterpuncher, or will it be the cold and calculating Triple G? To help us preview Canelo versus Triple G Part 2 is sports journalist Josh Planos. Josh now joins us live through Skype from Omaha, Nebraska. Good morning, Josh.
Morning, Charles. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you can join us. Well, Josh, first off, I just want to know, the first time these two fighters met, who did you actually have winning that match?
I thought it was Golovkin, clearly. He really seemed to dominate, especially the championship rounds down the stretch once Canelo had kind of slowed down. It really felt like it was Golovkin's fight. I thought the whole way through, but sometimes judges' scorecards get a little squirrely, and hopefully we get better judging this time around. Because I know I'm not thinking it was Triple G.
Yeah, that seems to be a bit of a case in a lot of boxing matches lately. But okay, the rematch is finally on this weekend. What can we expect this time in round 2, or part 2 rather?
I think it's going to be more of the same. I think Gennady's going to try and control the fight with his jab. He basically lands 6.5 more jabs per round than his opponent, at least over his last 5 fights. He threw 53 more jabs than Alvarez last time. He'll try and cut off the ring and really try and use his power to suffocate Alvarez, which I thought he did a mighty fine job of the first time around. But there's more animosity this time around. I think the fighters genuinely don't like each other this time around, so that usually makes for a better fight, come the opening bell.
Okay, well, many fans were, I guess, disappointed with how the first fight turned out. It was also a bit underwhelming. But it seems, well, because of what you said, both guys seem to dislike each other. This fight will be, I guess, a bit more intense. But in terms of hunger, like, which fighter do you think is hungrier? Is it Canelo, who had a suspension, or is it Triple G feeling maybe he got robbed the last time?
I think you could make an argument for both. I'll choose to make one for Alvarez. He's coming off a 364-day layoff, the longest layoff of his career. He's basically had his career run through the mud because, people hear clenbuterol, they think performance-enhancing drug, they think cheater. And yet here's somebody who's, unquestionably one of the greatest fighters that we have today. And people, at least a portion of the boxing audience thinks of him as somebody who is trying to circumvent the policies in place that would create fair fights. So I think Alvarez, he's been told that he basically didn't deserve to have the draw and that he cheated. So I think he has more to prove this time around.
Okay, but tell us a bit, what's at stake really for both these fighters? How will this rematch and maybe a win for either of them shape the whole their boxing legacies?
Well, these are unquestionably 2 of the best pound-for-pound fighters alive right now. So I think the winner, if it's a clear winner, automatically becomes the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. And I think that's obviously a title that every fighter wants to hold. Clearly, it's something that I think Alvarez couldn't really come back from because he would have lost to both Golovkin and Mayweather, whereas this would be the first loss of Golovkin's career. And, people will give him the benefit of the doubt the last time he fought Alvarez. So I think the winner, though, becomes the pound-for-pound champion that people look at when they think, this is boxing right now. This is boxing in 2018, and this guy is the face of this sport moving forward.
Okay, if there's one aspect where you could say each fighter actually has a clear advantage over the other, what would it be for Alvarez and what would it be for Triple G?
For Alvarez, it's definitely speed. He's, as you mentioned in the pre-show intro, he's a counterpuncher. He really waits for his opponent to make the move, and then, he's like a chess player. He makes the correct adjustment. And he's got the hand speed, which, he's put on display in Twitter videos throughout the lead up to this fight to really make that an effective tool for him. I really think that's the only advantage that he has. Golovkin has the power. Golovkin has the stronger chin. Golovkin's never been knocked down. And I really think Golovkin has, 2 of the 3 key advantages that a fighter needs but Alvarez certainly has the speed.
Okay, which will lead me to asking you, I guess, the question everybody wants to know. Your prediction, your fearless forecast, what will the result be? What round, if it's a knockout, or is it going to be a decision? Tell us your pick.
I think it's Gennady. I think it's by knockout. The guy has never lost. He's never been knocked down. He knocks out 90% of the guys who get into the ring with him. The guy went nearly a decade without seeing the final round of a fight for a reason. He has unprecedented power in both hands. I think that he gets the job done this time around. I think it's a good fight. I think it's a better fight. But I think at the end, it's Golovkin who has his hand raised.
All right. Well, Josh, thank you so much for your analysis. A safe flight to Vegas and enjoy the fight.
Thanks for having me.